Welcome to Side Stage of Psy, where I interview artists before we head on stage. Today I'm with
Miina.
Nice to meet you. How are you
too.
feeling?
I'm feeling really good. Yeah, it's nice to be back in Toronto. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling great. Yeah, the weather's sunny.
I know,
it's
this
great.
is so nice.
Have you been to Toronto before? Oh, you have, haven't you? Yeah.
Yes, I've been here a couple of times. I even worked, I had an internship here when I was younger and lived here for a couple months. And then I've played here kind of countless times with an older project. But this is the first time for Miina to play here, have our own show. And yeah.
That's so exciting.
Yeah.
Your music talks a lot about connection and people and even like nature and stuff like that. Is this something that's intentional or did it like come naturally to you?
I guess a little bit of both. I think just like, when I'm songwriting, I'm kind of just pulling based on reflection usually, and those concepts are often on my mind. So it just sort of naturally comes out of me. But I also, I'm really proud to make music. I think that maybe kind of creates conversation and creates connection, especially given the way the world is right now. I think we kind of need to have music that pulls us closer together instead of divides us. So that's intentional.
Your music also feels, I guess, sunny but also deep at the same time. As if there's like a light and then there's something underneath it. Do you feel like that duality reflects how you are as a person?
That's a lovely question. Yeah, I guess it kind of does. Like I do feel like I am a glass half full kind of gal, but at the end of the day, I also do really just like have a lot of empathy, and I'm a very sensitive person, and so sometimes that can be a strength, but sometimes it can also just make for a little bit of a tortured soul, and I do get anxiety and all that stuff that I think a lot of people can relate to. So, but yeah, at the end of the day too, I still have a lot of hope. I love creating art and I love connecting with people, and I do see the good in society still too. So yeah,
for sure. So I was listening to your song Hiccup. It's such a great song, by the way. I love that song. So I love how it turns from like anxiety to something like calm. So when you wrote that, were you trying to process something personal or reframe it?
That is cool that you brought up that song, because that is the one co-write that I've done, and that was with Lowell, who's an amazing Toronto-based songwriter who's doing so well right now, and it was such an honor to work with her. And we kind of sat down and we were like, what do we want to sing about together? And at that time, I was sort of going through a hiccup, and so I brought that up, and we kind of talked about that sort of same thing, is like you can kind of be spiraling a little bit sometimes, but then just coming to your senses a little bit, being like, this is just a hiccup, like I got this, I can get through it, and there's a bit of a you and me in that song too, so it's a little bit about also sort of supporting yourself and someone else as well.
So first of all, you've released a new album. Absolutely love that. The album, it kind of came together as a reflection of everything you were going through. So when you finally stepped back and listened to it as a whole, what did you realize about yourself that you maybe didn't see like whilst you were writing it?
Yeah, I think when I was writing those songs, and some of them were written over like a couple years period of time, I think there was just a lot that had been happening in my life, so I sort of recognized that the album was telling a little bit of just a story of like being an empath in this world, and all of the things that we're all kind of going through as part of this weird human experience. And stepping back from it, I sort of realized, I think this is like a pep talk in a way, to like keep on keeping on. There's songs that sing about, it's a song literally called Worry, and then there's another song called Good Enough, and that's very much like a pick yourself up and don't listen to the haters, whether that's up here or external, just to kind of keep going. And also there's a little bit of grief in there, and dealing with that tricky emotion too. So at the end of it, I was like, I think I'm kind of giving myself and maybe other empaths out there like a little bit of a pep talk to keep on pushing.
Oh, I love that. Do you think you could have made the album if you hadn't gone through like that period of change?
I think it would have just maybe been a different album. Everything that I was going through, whether it was good stuff or harder stuff, I'm grateful for it, just for the opportunity to be alive, really, and then to create as a result. So it probably would have been just a bit of a different album, and it is a gift to feel deeply. It can be a curse, but it can be a gift too. So,
which song of yours do you think your friends would say is most you?
On the new album, there's a song called Celebration, and I think that it's kind of a quirky, chill little tune. I wrote it after one night my partner and I were kind of hanging out outside. We had the radio playing. There happened to be a classical music piece playing on the radio, and I looked up in the sky and I saw a whole bunch of bats just flying around, and it was so beautiful, and it really just made me think, like, you can get so caught up in your own experience and whatever you're going through, and sometimes you just need a little nudge from the world around you to slow down and see something that's beautiful, and then take a moment to just sort of be in that. So I wrote a song called Celebration that's just sort of saying, like, you know, these little moments are beautiful, and so are we. And so I think in a way that song maybe is one that kind of could represent me as a human, you know, like taking it all in and then finding a little bit of hope or joy in there.
Yeah.
So maybe that one. I'll ask my friends when I go home.
Yeah. And then let me know.
I'll let you know, yeah.
Do you feel like you're making music more for yourself now, or still thinking about how like other people like would see you?
It's crossed my mind before to be like inspired by, you know, other music that's really sounding amazing that, you know, I hear and I'm like, oh, that sounds really cool. Like, I wonder if I can be inspired by that and create something like that. But I think at the end of the day, you know, it's nice to have those influences happening. But I think at the end of the day, when I go into songwriting mode, I'm kind of in my own little world. And I'm thinking about songs that, you know, I would like for someone to write so that I could listen to, and then I'm thinking, well, maybe I can create that song, and that can be that for someone else.
What's been a moment in your career so far that felt really small on the outside but was huge for you?
I reached out to Howard Redekop with a couple of songs, and I said, hey, I've got a demo that I would love for you to hear. And he said, sure, like, come on out to the studio and let's hear it. And I kind of wasn't sure if this was going to be just like a friend listening to a song and giving feedback, but in the end he was like, I want to produce this with you. So he became the producer, one of the main producers on Where the Light Goes. So I think what kind of started as like a small moment of sharing a demo from my humble home studio turned into sort of opening the door for this whole album to exist.
When was that? Was that recently? Or?
That would have been like a year and 4 months ago, I guess.
Yeah, and it's good that you remember that as well, because it's like a big thing for you.
Oh, actually, I have another really cool one.
Go on.
I was asked to be on a cooking show with an amazing musician named Michael Case Hammer, and I almost said no because I'm a horrible cook. And I was like, no one wants me on this show. And then I was like, you know what? Like, I should go out of my comfort zone and just say yes to this. Like, why not? And so I went on this cooking show, and it's filmed at a local TV station on the island that's called Czech News. Okay. And I met my manager there because she's also his manager. It was really awesome.
Yeah. Oh,
so say yes to the cooking show.
Exactly. Yeah. So if someone was hearing your songs for the first time tonight, what do you want them to leave your set remembering you about, and not just as an artist, but as a person in general?
I think that my goal as an artist is to just create a space physically and sonically where people can like just kind of like sway and feel comfortable and just kind of get taken away with us on a little bit of like a feel-good journey. You know, there's some songs in our set that hit a little bit heavier, so those are really fun to play live. And then there's some songs that are just a little bit sweeter and slower. So yeah, I just kind of want people to come out and feel connected, and whether it's to us or the community they come with, or maybe they're on a solo date, and that's really beautiful too. And just to feel uplifted and resilient and maybe even a little bit of extra strength to go on and make the world a little bit of a better place too. And you know, we need each other. So
but yeah, because I go to a lot of concerts solo, and so I love like discovering new artists and just being in the room and not having to have all these distractions like, you know, social media and stuff like that. Cool. So I think that's a really nice like message. So
yeah, a lot of people should do that more if they you know kind of haven't discovered it yet. It is a cool experience to go to a concert alone and just sink into it.
Exactly. Yeah. Got a few trivia questions now. Okay. Which song of yours would you trust to introduce you on a first date?
To introduce me on a first date. If I was showing up for a date and all the person had heard was the song.
Yeah.
Ooh, what a cool question. I mean, Push It's a really sexy song, so if it was going to be a sexy date, maybe that one.
Love that.
But like sexiness aside, it's also a song about, you know, just like connecting with people and supporting someone through a hard time, and then like discovering touch and comfort.
I love that.
Yeah.
What's a random non-music skill that you have that people like don't know about you?
I really love trail running. I love running up mountains with my dogs.
Oh,
So maybe that.
I've got an Alaskan Malamute.
Oh,
so yeah,
awesome.
I mean he's really old now. He's like 12, but
Oh,
like he
good for you.
still runs. Like if you get him off the leash, he's gone.
God,
So
he
yeah,
just loves it. He's just like, I need to stretch my legs.
yes.
Yeah.
But are you the type to cry to your own songs, or are you like, okay, next?
Neither, I guess.
Okay,
Maybe
yeah.
like somewhere. I mean, I guess like in studio when we're listening back and we're creating these soundscapes and it's building and it feels very exciting to hear these things kind of come into real life. I can sometimes get like the shiveries because I just feel really proud of what's been created but I'm also not like next because sometimes it is really nice to remember and listen to a recording and be like, you know, connect with that song again. I try to not check out of the music and kind of keep it relevant to who I am.
That's good.
But I'm also not driving down the street blasting music.
What's your most played song right now that isn't yours? Or a song that you can remember that you like recently played?
The guys have been the DJs in the bus lately.
What have they been playing?
Jamil, I don't know what he's playing, but it's really good. He's just been the DJ. A lot of instrumental tracks.
Okay, nice.
That new band out of Montreal named Angine de... Oh, I don't know how to say their name. I've never said it out loud, but they're really awesome. I listen to a lot of Feist, kind of just in general. I've been listening to a lot of Charlotte Cardin.
Where do you see yourself in like 5 years in terms of like, you know, with your tours and like music?
In like my dream world, I would be another 2 or 3 albums in, doing kind of similar tours to this one, but just building on fan bases and building on those communities and continuing to visit both the bigger spots and also the smaller spots. I would love to be bringing our music abroad as well, maybe not to the States right now, but maybe again one day. I really love the idea of collaborating with more songwriters and other musicians too, and just continuing to keep on keeping on in this odd industry, but it's a good one too.
Is there any artist that you'd love to like collaborate with?
I mean, I would love to collaborate with Feist. I would love to collaborate with Charlotte Cardin. There's a lot of really beautiful Canadian musicians that I'm really proud to be part of this scene. And there's a lot of really amazing women that are doing cool things right now too. So yeah.
Thank you guys.